Oh, sorry guys, Abz here from the Abz Method, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you through my top 10 highest protein foods and what I like to incorporate through my diet weekly and throughout the year. So without further ado, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate on my YouTube channel if you could give me a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So here we are then. Start off with number one, which I think is probably one of the best and underrated ones out there. So turkey. So everyone's favourite. Usually only look forward to it to one time a year for Christmas or maybe Thanksgiving over in the US. So 100 grams of cooked turkey breast contains 29 grams of protein. So on average, most people would probably have about 200 grams per meal, which would give you just short of 60 grams of protein, which is huge. It's really low in fat, extremely low in calories. It's nutrient dense, which supports the immune system, which is great, especially through the winter months. So I was getting sick. And the best ways to cook this would be to grill and roast in my recommendation. As you can see in the picture, there's a lovely roasted turkey. So definitely this is a top one to include within your diet. Number two, eggs. Can't harp on enough about eggs, right? Every morning you need to have them in your breakfast. So one large egg has about 6 to 8 grams of protein, really affordable, and they're quick to prepare. So different ways you could do them: boiled, scrambled, poached, make an omelette. You can even fry them, but just make sure it's done in like some butter and they're not a saturated fat, bad oil. Low in carb, high in fat, nutrient dense. And when you're on holiday, always make friends with the egg man, the chef, to get your morning omelette in. Number three, salmon. So studies been shown into fish a lot nowadays, and really we need to try and include it within our weekly diet at least twice a week. So I always usually try to have salmon grilled at least once a week, because it's massively high in omega-3s. 100 grams of cooked salmon has around 22 grams of protein. Low in mercury, which is good. We don't want that mercury poisoning, and it's packed with B and D vitamins. Okay, so, and as we know, being in the UK, great salmon just comes from up north from Scotland. Number four, beef steak. So all different types of steak, but this is predominantly done on a sirloin. I know some people prefer fillet or ribeye, but I've just done this on the sirloin, sort of in the middle. So 100 grams would typically give you around about 26 grams of protein. Okay, it's packed with iron and zinc, so it should support oxygen flow and immune system. Vitamin B12, support your energy system, and natural source of creatine to improve your physical performance in the gym. So with creatine in there, if you're not taking it already, that's another supplement which you can add into your dietary to improve your performance in the gym. But some people get scared of red meat because obviously the digestion takes longer and they worry about it's going to make them bulky. But listen, get a steak in your diet. Everyone loves it. Just make sure it's grilled, fried nicely, some garlic butter, a bit of rosemary, sea salt, you see in the picture, and you won't go far wrong. And usually in a restaurant, I'd say on average steak's usually about 220 to 30 grams for serving. So you can see from there 26 grams per 100, times that by 2, you're looking at 55 to 60 grams of protein for about 230 grams of steak, which is insane really for one of your meals. Greek yogurt. Absolutely love Greek yogurt, to have in the evening or to have it as like a mid-afternoon snack. Pack it with berries, add some honey, a bit of dark chocolate, real good alternative to if you've got a bit of a sweet tooth to incorporate in your diet. So 100 grams gives you 10 grams of protein. So, okay, it's not as high as the others, for example, as like the animal products, so to speak, but 10 grams from like a snack, and depending on how much you have, it all adds up, right, to a daily amount. Because remember, ideally, we need to be having 1 gram of protein per pound you weigh for wanting to build lean muscle. So also got probiotics on, which supports your gut health, which is important for digestion. And as I've already mentioned there, yeah, throw some other bits and pieces in there to make it a little bit more interesting for a snack, or if you've got a bit of a sweet tooth. So number 6, whitefish, cod. Really easy to eat, nice and light. So 100 grams of cod typically contains 18 grams of protein. Heart healthy, really low in mercury, high in B12, digestible, mild. So on holiday, for example, white fish is great, like cod, sea bass, you know, all of the typical white fishes, because really light but packed with protein. And like I said, it's really easy to digest. It doesn't sit on you heavy, unlike some other foods. Good one to consider. Number 7, prawns or shrimp. So 100 grams of prawns contain 24 grams of protein, low in calories, rich in B12, low in saturated fat, and packed with antioxidants. So loads of different ways you could do prawns. You know, in the picture there you can see actually my wife's favourite, gambas pil. You know, that's a great dish, but you can add them into pasta, have them as a starter, add them with your steak. You know, a bit of surf and turf, so to speak. Real good thing which people forget about. Nice and easy to incorporate weekly. But 8, which a lot of people don't know about, and this is good for the sort of vegan and vegetarians amongst you, which may struggle for some protein options, but edamame. You know, 100 grams of edamame contains 11 grams of plant protein. High in fiber, which helps, obviously, if going to the toilet, etc. Rich in folate and iron, which helps with red blood cell production. And obviously, red blood cells carry oxygen around our body. And as always mentioned, yeah, great source of protein for vegan and vegetarians. Great one, you know, if you've got guests coming around, great little starter to get out there. Real cheap and easy to do. You know, you can add some sea salt on them. You know, you can make them a little bit spicy. There's different ways you can do them to make them a little bit more interesting, but a great source of easy protein if you wanted for as a little bit of a snack. Okay, everyone's favourite supplement really, which they would incorporate in their diet, especially to gain lean muscle, and it's protein powder. I'm not listing a specific protein powder here which you could take. Do your research, or in the comments just ask what I would take. But I take Reflex Natural Whey. That works for me. But typically a per 30-gram scoop is around 25 to 30 grams of protein. And I would say to most people looking to build lean muscle on their protein goal would probably be incorporating 2 of these throughout their day. It's cheap and accessible, fast digesting, and low calories. So to digest it quickly after workout, literally have it ready in the shaker like the lady shows in the picture. Just add some water, give it a good shake, neck it, bang, that's ticked off. What I'd always say is if you're under on your protein goal daily, you know, you can always have another one before you go to bed, about an hour beforehand, and that will help with your recovery, the amino acids inside it, etc. And finally, the next one's probably going to shock a lot of people, but number 10 is cottage cheese. Okay, so massively high in proteins. Half a cup typically serves, you know, 12 to 14 grams of protein. It's actually great for weight loss. So typically if people are looking to lose fat, this is a great thing to incorporate because it's really dense, rich in B12, and great for bone health. So, you know, I'm not a massive fan personally of the taste of this, but I thought it was definitely a good one to include because a lot of people don't know about the qualities of cottage cheese. So it's another thing which you can incorporate to have in your breakfast, put it on a jacket potato if you like it, add some chives, you know, a bit of spring onion, some flavourings to make it a little bit more interesting. So without further ado, there was my 10 foods of my choice which I would include, and there's some in there which you probably wasn't too sure thinking that there's going to be in there, like the likes of edamame and cottage cheese, and even maybe Greek yogurt might take your fancy. So the first couple I put in there were the most common ones which you would hear about, really, like, you know, turkey, salmon, beef. I didn't include chicken in there because chicken gets consumed so much, so I rather put turkey in there to sort of highlight the factors of how low it is within its calories, but it's very dense and really high in protein. So if you want to incorporate turkey instead of chicken, by all means, be my guest. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, to obviously introduce 10 foods and their qualities. If you haven't done so already, please give my YouTube a like and subscribe. And also, if you haven't, please follow me on Instagram on my page for daily advice, and that is the Abz Method. So please check it out, and see you all soon on the next one.